Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday to me. Happy day to you, whatever day it is. You all are in for a treat today because I am on fire. God put a word on my tongue, and I have quite a few things to talk about to get to that bigger picture. So, buckle up, stay hydrated. I have my beverage here. It is apple juice with some ice, and I sprinkled some probiotics in there. But, boop, cheers. Nothing like a nice cold glass of apple juice. So, I was just getting ready, getting dressed earlier, and I went on a tangent thinking about where I am, the things I'm working on, a few challenges I have. And it started with my desire to stop going to specific stores. And the reason is because I don't like the quality of those stores. And I know that I have a right to be picky about where I invest my money, where I shop, and I have a right to want to invest in establishments that are taken care of and where I can see the quality and the care. And I've thought about the reasons why I go to these stores, and usually it's because they often have sales. And I've gotten to a point where I don't care about chasing a sale because the store that I don't expect to have a sale may actually have a sale that day, and then boom, I'm surprised. And now the store that typically has the sales is a further drive. And it's a further drive because that same store that's closer to my house is not in the best neighborhood. So I don't go there. So I've been driving further just to go to the better location, same store, and it's still not the greatest, but it's better than the one closer. And so driving there is still going to cost money. So if I'm chasing a sale, I'm still spending money because I'm burning that gas. So why not go to a store closer to the house where the prices may be a little higher, but I'm not burning the money in gas? And also, so what? I know most of us, probably all of us, are trying to save and better use our resources and hold on to the money we have, spend it wisely. I love a good sale. However, I won't be afraid to spend money, especially if it's something I want. I have no control over how much it costs. It's going to cost whatever it costs, and if I want it, I can get it. If I don't want to spend the money, I don't have to. My life does not depend on these things. And I think that is what causes sometimes me and most people to fear change because it's easy to think of what if? What if I stop going to the store? Am I able to stop shopping here and go somewhere else? And what if I don't spend money on this thing? How will my life be without this? And I just don't want to live my life thinking I have to shop at this store. This is the only option. And if I don't, I'm making a dumb decision and I'm going to be missing out on a lot of money. No, because I don't shop at that store every day. So clearly I'm still alive. My life doesn't depend on that store. And as I said before, I like knowing that I have a choice in where I shop. And I want to go somewhere where it's already invested in and by people that care. Even if something goes wrong, at least I can tell that there are other people that care about maintaining the quality. And then that conversation led to what I'm already doing, which is taking a break from social media, the Facebook and the Instagram. And I did not post often anyway, but I would scroll, and then I started to question why. What's the purpose of what I'm doing? And I've gotten on social media, gotten off, deleted my profiles, reactivated them. Like I've done this before, and I think the last time I got off social media, it maybe was for about a year or two. So I have no problem deleting my accounts for good. And for now, I just haven't made that jump because I can see the usefulness of social media, and I'm wondering what's the purpose, because there is a purpose behind everything we do. And to me, it's not enough to keep social media just to post a picture of myself, the food I'm eating, my family and friends. Because why? Why do I want people to see that? I don't care that much. I used to because of the likes and the attention and the validation, but it wasn't enough and it will never be enough, because 5 likes, I'm going to want it to be 10, 10 to be 50, 50 to be 1,000, and I'll constantly say more, 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 more. I need more. Like, because that little validation feels good already, that I'm thinking about, ooh, well, if I get more, how will that really feel? What would that really mean? If 1,000 people love my picture, what will that say about me? What does it say? How much of those likes determines who I am and what people think about me? Because people can like your picture all day and still think you're the worst person and treat you like trash. And I just love being in the moment so much that I don't care anymore to take a picture of my food, because I ordered my food to eat it. If you want to see what I'm eating, okay, that's up to you. But I don't want to just always snap a picture and say, let me show this to the people and I want them to see what I'm eating. And I don't care that much. I just don't. And posting pictures of myself, I don't care that much. Friends and family, like the people that I connect with the most, I already have their number. I already talk with them. I hang out with them. Why am I posting pictures? Who am I posting for? What's the purpose? What message am I trying to get across? Am I trying to show people that I just have this perfect life with all this great food, and I'm so pretty today that I want to show people? Because I don't care that much. And I just want to be intentional about what I post, meaning if I do post something, I want at least one person to be able to take something away from it. And sure, maybe it can be that selfie, maybe it can be that dish. And that's what I mean is, if I'm just posting it for you to see it, it's like, okay, you see it and then what? But if I'm posting this recipe and saying, hey, if you're looking for an affordable option or a quick recipe, here's this, and this. But no, I wasn't doing that, to be very honest. I just wanted people to see what I was eating, what I was making, and if people had questions, I would gladly answer those questions. But I just wanted people to see what I was doing. And I asked myself earlier, I said, what if it is just enough for me to see something and to know that it tastes good and to like it? Because I also imagined this scenario of, what if I post a picture and no one likes it. If everyone in the world saw this picture of me and no one liked it, what would that mean? Well, it would likely suck. And at least the old me would have said that is, oh, that's really hurtful. It's dang, I didn't get any likes. I'm the only one that like it. And that should be enough. And sometimes that's not enough for people because we want more. For some reason, it just feels good when other people validate us and support us and reward us with things because it's more, 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 more. We just want more. And there's a time and place where you won't care about more, where your opinion and your validation will be enough that everyone in the world can want to hate on you and be negative, and you will be so firm and confident in yourself that you can brush it off and just say, whatever, I'm having the time of my life, so forget what you think. You're mad at me and I'm eating this good food and I'm living my best life. So, how did I get there? Talking about what I post. And oh, so yes, I am now accepting that if I'm the only person that sees something, that's enough. Because guess what? Not everyone will see what I see. Not everyone will hear what I hear. You won't think everything I think. You won't know everything that I know. And that is okay because that is life. If it's meant to be shared, it will be shared. But I just think that's how intentional we should be with our information. Not everything it needs to be broadcasted. Some things should be sacred. And that's how protective I am of myself and where I'm going, because the old me was an oversharer, sharing things that people had no business knowing, they didn't care about, they they weren't trusted sources. But I did not have that discernment at the time. I just wanted to be heard. I wanted to be seen. And it was just for the wrong reasons of me sharing. So now, in the direction I'm going in, God has taught me to be very intentional with my voice and with what I do, and to think, what's the outcome? What am I hoping for? Or what do I hope that I don't know the outcome, obviously, but what's the purpose? What do I want people to get from this? Which is why I invest in this channel and posting videos, because my hope has always been for people to grow closer to God, learn the Word of God, for you to feel encouraged and inspired, and to keep growing and elevating. And so, no one could watch my videos. That won't stop me from posting it because I know that there is someone that can benefit from this. And God hasn't told me not to post. He hasn't stopped me and said, don't do this. It's not worth it. So I feel good. I have no problem because I'm not doing this for the likes. Are the likes helpful? Yes. Do I appreciate likes? Yes. But that's not the only reason. If it were just for the likes, I'd probably be posting a lot more, doing anything just to get likes. And I'm just not there. I don't care that much. So, being intentional, it helps to slow down and ask ourselves, what's the purpose? Why am I posting this? Because if we are mindlessly going through life, we are going to make a lot of decisions not knowing what that purpose is. Because it's so easy to, as soon as your plate comes to the table, snap a picture, post it. Or again, take a selfie, post it. But why? It happens all the time. It's just like second nature for people to grab their phones and snap a picture. without thinking of the why, because it's just been normalized to do that. And I thought about those intimate moments with people. I don't want everyone to have access to those intimate moments in my life. For example, my wedding is coming up and I don't think I want to post pictures. If I want people to see pictures, I'm going to have to invite you over because I would like to print them out, put them on the walls, or I may send it to people individually and I can request that people don't post them. Will they listen? I can only hope they do, and if they don't, oh, that's going to tell me a lot about them and who they are. And I have no control over what people do, but if people respect my request, that would mean a lot to me. But at least I can take control and say, well, I actually don't want to post it. And so if I question whether someone will listen, then I shouldn't send them a picture until I'm certain that they would not post it. And I will say, I trust them. I know if I ask them to do something, they wouldn't do it because they care about me, they respect me. So that's where my control is. So I can choose whether I want to share it or not. And there are just a lot of things I don't want people to know about me. I love being a hermit most of the times. I love being hidden most of the times. I don't always want to be seen. I like to be tucked away most of the time to just observe. I don't always want the spotlight. And that's just so different from where I used to be. I always wanted the spotlight. I wanted attention. I wanted people to notice me and see me. And it got me in trouble because I used to do things to be seen that I had no business doing. Like I said, oversharing, just opening my mouth. And I was making a fool of myself. And I had to learn the hard way that it's best to just zip it. That is why I'm here and I can say this confidently because I know what it's like to put myself on display for the world to see. And that comes with shame, that comes with guilt. And that doesn't feel good because the damage was already done. I can't take it back, but I can learn from it. And I just love the mystery. I don't like everyone knowing my business. Some people, I don't care for them to know my business. Why? Why do you need to know? And so there was also that season too when I got off of social media entirely. God wanted me to be hidden. Why? Because he saw the damage that was done when I was out there exposing myself. So he said, delete social media. I was living in a new state by myself, didn't know anyone out there, and I was hidden working on myself where social media did not occupy my time, and so I spent it on other things to help me get here. And that's really all it is. I can't really find the words to explain why I like to be a hermit, because I think too is showing up in the world. Sometimes people are so demanding. And especially if you're going to work every day, 9 to 5, you just don't want to do that every day. And sometimes you just want to stay inside where no one can find you, no one can access you. That's why people live off the grid. Because I imagine it comes with freedom and liberation Because, of course, there are consequences and risks to everything. Consequences doesn't have to be bad, but what I mean is living off the grid isn't perfect. It doesn't work for everyone. And so I try to find ways to live that hermit lifestyle, and I show up when necessary, because constantly showing up in the world can be exhausting. So I like to just be isolated for a little bit, not to create distance and damage my relationships. It's mostly because I just need that time away from people, to myself, or just with that small circle of people that I need to interact with throughout the day. And that's just why being hidden feels good to me. Because the moment somebody sees you or hears you, or sees you're available, the phones start ringing, the text messages coming in, and it's just too much. I don't want to be bothered. Go away, go away, go away. Not everyone is comfortable with that. I wasn't always comfortable with being alone, and now I love it. I crave it. Sometimes it's not so easy because I look around and I'm thinking, I should be doing something. Am I being productive? Am I doing enough? And I have to stop myself and just know that I am doing enough. I don't always have to be on the go. I don't always have to be talking to people. My company can be enough. Sitting on the couch can be enough. There is a time and place for everything. And when it's time for me to be alone, I am learning to be alone, because that is the time where I am with God, just Him and I. And of course, He's always here with me. But those times are very sacred, because if you are uncomfortable being alone, invite God in your presence, because He is going to help you get through that time where He's strengthening you and teaching you that it's okay to be alone, still, and quiet. And you can find comfort in that. And that's why I've learned to do that, because I knew that I could not depend on everyone for everything, and that there will be a time where I have to learn to do things by myself. So that's the benefit in being alone. And so having that conversation with myself led to working. And like I said before, most people are doing the 9 to 5 thing. And there was a time when I was on social media because I wanted to promote myself as a therapist. But then I deleted that account because I just did not care that much. Now, do I want clients, and am I open to clients, new clients? Yes. I already have myself listed on different, like Psychology Today. There's another one. It's been a while, so Psychology Today is the main one though. And I'm out there. The company has a website. People can find me. But having an Instagram just to promote myself as a therapist felt like more work, more pressure, and I just did not want to do it. At the time, I just did not care enough. And someone may say, oh, you should care more and you should be doing more and blah, 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 blah. I don't care. Because I knew I did not have to have that Instagram. Because what if that wasn't enough? What if someone said, you got to have Psychology Today, you got to have an Instagram, you got to have a Facebook, you got to have the LinkedIn, you got to have all this. So I'm going to be promoting myself on 100 different sites to keep up with. Because guess what? To somebody, it will never be enough. But for me, it is enough to just have one listing or 2 or 3. And again, accepting that I don't have to do things I don't want to do is freeing. Now, yes, the idea of doing more to get more can be inspiring because someone can say, ooh, I have all these opportunities to list myself professionally to bring more revenue. I'm going to take it. But also, that one site can be enough where you could be listed in 10 different websites and get no clients. You could be listed on one and get 20 to 50. So, but it's about choice for me. And if I want to list on more sites, I know I can do it. But at the time, I was thinking, I have this Instagram. I'm thinking of inspirational quotes to post, and it was something that I knew I had to keep up with, that at the time I just didn't care that much to keep up with it. And it felt like another job because I'm thinking I should post every Wednesday and I should have Monday be quotes, and then Wednesday can be like a challenge for people and ask them questions, and I didn't want that. And after I thought about that, it reminded me to put my trust and faith in God, because God is the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, forever. God remains the same. People change, things change. Your favorite recipe or your favorite dish at a restaurant can change. The apple juice I like, I can go buy it later. An ingredient can change. And sometimes change sucks. And knowing that God remains the same is just so beautiful. And it can be scary because change is scary. And so trusting in God is not always easy. And having that trust is so rewarding because if we know that God is a redeemer and a provider, a protector, a savior, that means what he has in store will be so beautiful. So if God says he has our back, that means he has our back. What does that look like? We will have to find out. Buckle up. I know the unknown can be scary because we like to predict things. That's why a lot of us don't invest in things until we're sure that it will work out. But sometimes we just don't know. But we can predict based on patterns. We can look at the history and what success rates have been. For example, drinking and driving. What does that usually lead to? So that should tell you that drinking and driving is not a good idea because it likely leads to accidents and death. Now, guess what? The opposite. Not drinking and driving typically leads to arriving safely at your destination. No one harmed. So, that's the success rate. Now, does that guarantee that you won't get into an accident? No. However, it increases your chances of not getting in an accident because you are sober. Now, dark example, I know we don't want to think about that. But sometimes you have to go there. Apply that to other things as well. That's why I always went to that same store because usually they have the cheaper prices. But other stores have sales. There's another store I love going to that usually has buy one, get one free, and the other store usually doesn't have that. Buy one, get one free, that's better to me, especially when it's my favorites. That's better. Now, that I say all that to say I don't want to put all of my trust in a job, in one person, in one platform. Can I? Sure. But I'd rather put all of my faith and trust in God. And that does include God providing other people to help me out. That does include opportunities. That doesn't mean it's just me and God. That means other people and things can be included, but as long as God is present, that's what matters. Whether it's the job, whether it's this friend, whether it's my favorite brand of apple juice, if God is involved, it's good. And I can enjoy those things. I can accept those things in the people because God is in the midst. Now, what good is having this good apple juice and that person in my life if God isn't present? Because there are a lot of things that occupy our time and space that God doesn't want for us, that God did not agree to. And I don't just want anything and anyone in my life occupying my space and time. I want to be intentional about where my resources are going. So, because of that, I don't care to just spend my day doing one thing. That's why the 9 to 5 life has never appealed to me, because I like flexibility. To me just looks different. And some people, 9 to 5 life works for them. That works for you. Does not work for me, does not appeal to the direction that I'm trying to go in. And I'm learning to make the most of my time, where there are days where I can work and maybe it's only for a few hours, and then I can come here and speak, post a video. Maybe I can go to the store. There's some days when I'm not working and I can just rest all day. But someone that has a 9 to 5 life, you're at work right now where I'm at home and I'm taking advantage of this platform. And that's what works for me, because the idea of putting my time and trust in just one job does not appeal to me. And I say that because that's why most people choose the job they have, because they are looking for that security that they think they're promised, but that job can be taken away. Especially today, we are seeing it. People are getting laid off, fired. Things are shutting down, and there is no guarantee that it'll come back. There's no known date. We don't know. We just don't know if it will ever return. And that to me is not a way to live. Whether you have the 9 to 5 life or not, I think the only thing we need to put our trust in and our faith in is God, because He has always been the same. How do we know that? Because He hasn't told us otherwise. If God decided to switch up, He will make sure we know. Because when God has a plan, it's going to happen. So God would not just change and not tell us and just say, oh, they'll figure it out. They'll know. No, that's not God. Because when God has a word for us and a plan for us, He wants us to hear it, and He will make sure we hear it. And whether we listen and what we do with His voice is up to us. But He's going to tell us, because no one can stop God. That's why the devil's so mad. No one can stop God. No one can stop His plan. for our lives. I can't stop what God has for you. God will make sure of it. I can fight. I can try to, if I wanted to break into your house, if, with God protecting you, He's going to make sure I'm not successful in that. And I may die trying. I don't want that. Forget it. I don't want to break in your house, especially not that much. If I wanted to, I don't want to die trying. Oh, forget it. It's not worth breaking in your house if I got to lose my life for it. But that's what I mean is if God wants to protect you, He's going to protect you by any means. And nothing can break through God. Nothing can tear through God. You know how powerful God is? Try tearing through God's plan if you want to. I hope you don't want to. I hope you see the point I'm making is it will not be worth it. Do you know how many people have tried to stop God? I mean, that's why Satan is working overtime, because he is so mad that God has so much power. He's trying his hardest every day, and it's like, dang, he's never been successful and he never will be, because God has all the power. He's not going to give up his power to Satan and say, here, Satan, you can tear through me now. No, that's silly, because God knows if he gave up his power, he knows Satan would not make good use of that. So if God were to give up his power, he's going to give it up to the right person, thing. But I say all that to say God has always been the same. God remains. That is the only constant. And change. Those two, God and change. God is not God has not changed. But what he has for us can change. And what he has for us is so beautiful, because he has a purpose and he has a plan, and he's working it out for the greater picture, the greater goal. And we just have to stay tuned and stay prayered up. Protect yourself, protect your space, your time, your energy, your mind. And pray, ask God to do the same for you, because every day presents something new. Being alive is not always easy, because there will be a challenge that we have to fight through to stay alive. And God will provide the resources because he wants to help us. So again, if there's a challenge, just know that God is giving us the skills to get through that challenge. We just have to use them, and we cannot give up. We have to stay consistent. We have to keep fighting. And God knows that we're scared. God knows that we're hurting. He knows. And he is there with us. He wants us to trust in him. He doesn't want us to get that dream job and just say, all right, well, just forget about me. I gave you this job, so pretend I don't exist anymore. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want us to lose sight of him, because he can take it all away. And just like that, then what are you going to do? So I'd rather put my trust in faith and God, because he is love. He is the example of love through actions. He is security. He is comfort. And that's all he's ever been. I'd rather be in his presence, because if we step outside of that, which people do, then we see that they're scrambling for love. They're scrambling for peace and protection. and security, and it'll never be enough. It will never be enough. If God is not involved, whatever you're chasing after will never be enough. And so it's beautiful knowing that sometimes what we want, we don't have to chase, because we can be working on this project, whatever you're doing, you could be working on it. And while you're working on your purpose, God has a reward waiting for you. And we don't have to work so hard to get what God has for us. But there are people that are grinding to the bone and they're not being rewarded. Exhausting yourself, you're tired, sleep deprived, out here dehydrated for a reward that is temporary and not enough. Not worth it. So that is my intention for this video. That's the purpose of this video. I know I went up talking about stores and social media and jobs just to show that that's how my brain was working today. And it was necessary for me because sometimes I am discouraged. Sometimes I'm thinking, Lord, should I go get another job just to guarantee some money will come in? And there's jobs that I don't want that I've considered and said, man, should I just suck it up and go do this? And no, I don't have to. And people will make us feel like we have to do something to survive. And we don't. Now, no, don't be a sloth, because that's a sin. God didn't say just sit on your butt and be a couch potato and you will be rewarded financially. No. Can you? Sure, there is passive income, but guess what? That means you already have something set up that can make money passively. But no, if you have nothing set up and you're just sitting on a couch waiting for money, I'm sure you've checked the couch cushions, but you've probably collected everything that's in the couch cushion. And so eventually you're going to have to get up and do more. And that means stepping out the door. That means using social media. That means making a phone call. That means working, using your hands, using your voice, using your feet. We all have resources and tools. Your body is a tool, the greatest tool, because look at what our bodies can create. Words, hands, look at all the things our hands create. Let that be enough. And if God sees that you are using yourself as a tool to produce something good, He will make sure you are rewarded. And I heard an example. I was listening to an audiobook, the cash flow quadrant, and the author used an example of I don't think it was his sister. Don't quote me on that part. But the point is, he described a woman that is a nun, and that's her profession. That's her purpose. And people hear nun and they're thinking, where's the money coming from? But this nun is an investor, and she is making money through investing while living her purpose. And that's what I mean when I say there's just so much that we can do, and the money can come. But if it's just about money, we are going to be scrambling. We are going to be frustrated because a lot of people are doing so much just for money and they're not happy. So, you could be traditionally unemployed and God will make a way. You can be homeless and God will make a way. Do I want you to be homeless? Absolutely not. I don't want to be homeless. In worst case scenario, if it ever came to that, I know God has my back because He's given me people that care so much about me that they would not let me be homeless. Not for a second. He's provided me with people that care about me that they will make sure I'm hungry. Not hungry, sorry, that I'm fed. That when I'm hungry, I will be fed. Because I have people that check on me to ask me, what did you eat today? What do you want to eat? And if I were to ever say, I don't have anything to eat, I don't have to ask. They will either cook or send me the funds to get some food. Not everyone has that. And it's heartbreaking. I know everyone has their story. I don't know how every homeless person has gotten to that point. Sometimes it's the choices they make. Sometimes it's an unfortunate event that happens. And I cannot imagine going through that and I don't have to think about it. So I don't have to work myself to the bone and fear and say, oh, I have to grind and work 12 hours a day to make sure I'm not homeless. I don't have to do that. Now, do I want to make more money? Absolutely. Who doesn't? However, there's no guarantee that what I do will make more money. So I'm not going to stress about it. Am I going to still work and use my resources? Absolutely. And all I can do is hope for the best. I can hope that I'm provided for because money is not the only way to be provided for. Like I said, maybe I'm not making the money, but God has provided me with people that are, that if I'm not buying the food, someone else is, and I'm fed. My desire is to survive, and there are so many ways to get those survival needs met. And that is my purpose for this video, is knowing and encouraging you all to see a different perspective, to think in color. It doesn't have to be so black and white of, I just have to work this job to get paid. And there are multiple ways to get your needs met. And I know there's someone out there that may hear this and say, I don't have a choice. I don't have an option, any other option. And I get it. There are seasons we're in where what we're doing is as good as it is right now. And I'm not saying quit your job today. If you don't want to be there, can you quit? Yes. Is it the right choice? That's not for me to say. However, you may be working that job you hate while working toward your purpose. And so there will be hard seasons. I've worked jobs that I could not stand, and I finally got out of them, and I could not wait to get out of them. But during that season, I stayed, and it built character, and it helped me get to where I'm going, where I am now. And I've learned lessons that can prepare me for where I'm going. And so maybe you're in that season right now where you're just waiting for that one opportunity to open up a door for you to get out of this current season. And all I'm encouraging you to do is to make the most of where you are today. Like I said, do I want more of this? Do I want more of that? Absolutely. I'm not going to turn down more money. But am I going to just do anything to make money? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm fine waiting for money, but I'm going to make sure I am intentional about what I do. And I know that I have a choice in what I do and what I spend my time in. And that's the best part, is me knowing that I have control and you have control as well. So, be encouraged and make the most of where you are today, because this moment right here is what matters most, because it's here and now. You can do something with this moment. Each moment that passes is an opportunity for you to make the most of it. And sometimes we're just going through life losing track of the moment. But use the time you have now to acknowledge this moment and just take it in. If you like where you are, embrace it, appreciate it. If you don't like it, ask God for the strength and the resources to help you get through this moment. And use the same tools every day. Gratitude for where you are, or praying to God to help you get through where you are. And that's what works for me to get through the days. And that's what works for me to know that right here is enough. I have everything I need. Even if I did not have food, my fridge could be empty now. But I have money in the bank. How much? Don't worry about it. But just know I'm taken care of. And worst case scenario, my whole account could be wiped out. But my fiance has money. Now his account could be wiped out. Well, we have family and friends that have money. And how likely is it that all of our accounts will be wiped out at the same time? Very unlikely. But that's how my brain works sometimes, because a lot of people think of the worst case scenarios, and you have to really be logical with yourself and just say, yeah, that could happen. All of our accounts could be wiped out at the same time. But so what? How likely is that all of our accounts will be wiped out and all of our fridges will be empty? Very, very, very slim. And if that were to happen, somewhere out there, somebody's giving away free food. Okay, what if no one's giving away free food? It's like, again, you have to talk to yourself that way. If your mind works that way like mine does, eventually I will stop going down that rabbit hole, because I will start with me and say, what if this happens to me? Okay, well, I have family and friends. And then once I get there, I'm at ease, because I can just say, woo, all right, I'm glad my account has not been wiped out. And I'm glad I have food in the fridge, so I don't have to think about those worst case scenarios. Hi, bird. I love that bird. I don't know what type of bird that is, but it's just so exotic, and it reminds me of a rainforest, and it takes me to like a beach, and I don't know. See, I'm going on a tangent, but that is all I have for you all. There's nothing wrong with preparing. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have a solution. And sometimes all we have to do is stop ourselves and say, this worst case scenario could happen, and God, thank you that it has not happened. That doesn't mean you can't prepare. You can prepare as best as you can, and that worst case scenario still won't happen. And it could happen, and we will just have to wait and see. So that is all. I'm going to take another sip. and conclude this video with love. I hope that you all are encouraged and go a little easier on yourself today. There is work for you to do, and just take your time. Reevaluate where your time and your resources are going, your money, your energy, all of that. Do not fall into that sunk cost fallacy where most of us will say, I've invested so much time and money into this that I can't give it up. Well, guess what? The money and time you spent, it's already spent. Now, I know we don't want to fail. We don't want to feel like our investment went to waste. But none of it is wasted. Now, if you are just there, yes, some things are wasted, but I only think things are wasted if we are just not making the most of what we have and just mindlessly using our resources. And so wasting your time and money could look like being in a relationship with someone that God told you not to be with, someone that is draining you. And if you are constantly taking them on dates and buying them birthday gifts and hanging out with them, and all you're getting is negativity, yes, you're wasting your resources. So don't complain about, oh, I invested so much into this. Well, look at what your investment got you: negativity. So that's what I mean by don't fall into that sunk cost fallacy. And you can't change the past, but you can look at where your resources were invested and just say, I like where this is going. Let's keep it up. I don't like where this is going. Let's reevaluate. Let's make some changes. That is my hope for you all, that you can take away from this video, is to make the most of your beautiful time. Time is a gift and it's precious and it is not guaranteed. We have time now. We all ask if the days were longer. That's not up to us. But what you do with right now is up to you. Take your control, use it, make the most of it. I believe in you. And hold on to God. Hold on to His word. I pray that you all accept God in your life. You can trust Him and just develop a relationship with Him. It will be rewarding. And that is all that I have for you all. So, thank you for tuning in. And I noticed in this video and the last one, I did not introduce myself and start with welcome or welcome back. I am Andréa B. I just jump in. See? But you know me. You clicked on this video. So, my name is there, but I'm sure you want to hear it too. But that's me. This is me. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Love one another. And until next time, peace out.